Everybody kicking a retro today with a series versus Roshi. Hope you guys enjoy. Right, so he's leading with a Doduo. I've got the Articuno on the bench. I got the Squirtle and the Lapras. I got the Breeder in my hand, and Bill could really break this hand. I'm really tempted to Oak since we do play the 20. However, the biggest problem here is I really don't want to just throw that away. You know, I'm a Oak. I decided to play Oak, and it worked out perfectly. Top into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energies of Bill in a computer. So let's Bill. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's see. Still need a couple more pieces. Let's computer search again. Let's drop Articuno in a water. Let's get a Bill real quick. Let's draw 2 more cards. Still not cutting it. Let's go to Lapras and let's go Water Gun. Decent little 10 damage. Wear down the Doduo. I'm still holding just a bunch of water cards. I don't know if I should have Professor Oak there or not. I was really kind of digging in the deck a bit deeper looking. I had a Pokemon Breeder, but I was looking for the Squirtle. I do top into another Breeder. I have no way to draw into cards. Here comes a Hitmonchan for that. I think Confuse Ray is pretty viable here. But we also can get into Articuno that is pretty much immune to all of Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's only got 1 energy attached, and I've got 1 water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a water to Lapras here and go for the Confuse Ray, because I do have the Articuno in the back. And I do get a Tail, so that is no confusion on the Hitmonchan. But the Hitmonchan still needs 2 more energies to go for Special Punch. My opponent Roshi today, I wonder if he's playing Haymaker. I do see the Hitmonchan, which leads me to believe Haymaker. Although Doduo is very, very interesting. Dodrio is really... Ooh, last me. Very nice. Okay, hit the item finder and the retrieval takes away my Pokemon Breeder. Ooh, this is kind of dicey. Kind of dicey, I'm not going to lie. Articuno can still do really good damage, but Articuno has to charge up. And I drew into another Articuno, which is not very helpful here. He KOs me with another jab, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go for damage here. Special Punch only does 10 to me while I charge up Articuno. So we are going to flip for the Confuse Ray again, and this time we do not get it. I feel like the Water Gun probably would have been a bit more optimal. The last hurt me so bad, though. That was so good. The last taking out another Pokemon Breeder out of my hand. Topping into Blastoise would have been nice, but I really don't have the energy to go for it. He actually leaves it on the field. Interesting, interesting. Okay. I think we go for damage here. I'm okay with it, though. Let's charge Articuno again. Because Articuno does so much work to Hitmonchan, and they can only charge 10. I think we just go ahead and if we do 20, that'd be 40, and then we bring it down to Freeze Dry range. Let's go ahead and Water Gun. And that does the 20 to Hitmonchan, bringing it down to Articuno Freeze Dry range. This is great, though, if it is the Haymaker, but I haven't seen enough. Okay, it's fine. So now I'm going to bring in Articuno. I do top into that Pokemon Breeder, which is not helpful, but it's fine. Attach a water to the Articuno and Freeze Dry. And Freeze Dry will knock out the Hitmonchan and get the paralysis that I don't need. We'll pick up a prize, and it is an Oak. God. Normally, I would really like to see Professor Oak. I will say, though, the Fury attacks are very, very minuscule. There's another Oak. Let's see. How many waters would I lose here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still got 15 water energies, 2 breeders, 3 computer searches, 3 bills. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to Oak. Oh, this was nice. Bill does not get us quite into where we need to be, but we do get the War Turtle out of it. Get another Squirtle on the bench. That's going to be a double War Turtle play. We are going to go ahead now and bring in the 4th water energy and go for the Blizzard. We do hit a tail, so unfortunately our War Turtle and our Squirtle do take damage. We're going to pick up a prize. It's going to be a Pokemon breeder. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're about to go to town. Oh, we're about to go to town. Now we need to get some energies. Fury Attack coming through doing 10 damage. Picking up 2 waters. That is plenty to do what we need to do. We're going to go ahead and use that Pokemon breeder that we've been sitting on. Go ahead and evolve the Blastoise. We'll go ahead and attach 2 more energy to Blastoise. Yeah, Poke Power Rain Dance. There we go. Oh, I have to click it each time. Okay. That's a bit more frustrating than I'd like it to be. But it's fine. Alright, there's the full charge. Articuno goes in for the Blizzard, and we get another knockout on the Doduo. And there we go. Pick up another prize. Going to be another Blastoise. 1 Professor Oak putting us into a few more energies should end this game, even though Blizzard with Articuno can take it right here. My opponent, Professor Oaks and Bills, that's 9 cards. He gets into a Dodrio. The Retreat Aid does lower everything's retreat cost down by 1. Energy card to Dodrio. And we need to get into a water energy that we don't have, so we'll go ahead and evolve the Blastoise, throw a Lapras on the bench. Go ahead and go for the Freeze Dry. And we do not get the Paralysis. 1 Professor Oak will put us in a very, very strong situation and very, very good spot, for sure. Alright, double colorless to Dodrio. 10 plus 10 for every damage counter. He goes for the computer search. He's probably going really hard into a really good card. He is going for plus power. That is going to get the knockout onto Articuno. He does have to Professor Oak. He is sitting at 6 cards in the hand. Get a Doduo to the bench. Unfortunately, he doesn't have like a gust of wind or anything to get into like a bigger knockout. He will get the Articuno out of the way, though. This seems to be a variant of Haymaker, but I've never ever seen it with that on there. We now bring in Blastoise. We top in a Squirtle. And pretty much from here, we just good old Hydro Pump for the knockout. Pick up a computer search, which is what we need. We need to get into Professor Oak. Doduo is alone on the bench, evolving into Dodrio. Y'all, the speed of Blastoise is just a really strong deck in every single way. It's just a really good deck. Double colorless to the Dodrio. Alright, we draw into Bill. Get some waters. Let's go ahead and computer search. Let's go ahead and add a water to the Blastoise. Let's go ahead and computer search for a Professor Oak, discarding a War Turtle and a Gust of Wind. We will... Oh, we don't have a Professor Oak. We've played them all. Ah, they're prized. Okay, alright. That's not ideal. That is not ideal. We'll just get a water energy. We'll attach it as well to the Blastoise. We don't have quite enough power to knock this out. We'll go ahead and go for a Hydro Pump, and that brings us pretty low, 40. Would have taken 3 more energies. You can't add more than 30 in this way, right? For each water energy type, I would not used to pay for the energy cost. Extra energy after the second doesn't count, so you can do up to 60. I just don't really like plus power played in Blastoise. I feel like that should be a computer search, a Bill, a Professor Oak, a Pokemon breeder. One cool thing is Haymaker being played as often as it is, while Electabuzz does huge damage to Blastoise. Articuno, of course, does not have a weakness, but it has a resistance to the ever so common Hitmonchan. So it's a really good starting card to open up with Blastoise. Ideally, I would have liked Rain Dance. He is playing a variant of Haymaker. Ooh, Ditto, very cool. Let's talk about Fossil Ditto for a second. Fossil Ditto, I played the Pokemon Game Boy trading card game, and this card was not in there. Active Pokemon Truth, defending Pokemon always has this Pokemon power, so it cannot copy my Rain Dance. Our Hitmonchan comes in again, and this time we do not have Articuno to save us, and we can only do 40 damage to it, and we are not sitting on a lot of energy. So both of these prized cards are Professor Oak. We're going to attack with a Hydro Pump. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We only have 7 more energy in the deck, but that will be enough energies, I believe, to finish the game. The Electabuzz, if the Hitmonchan jabs and brings us to 80, and the Thunder Punch throws ahead, it can knock out the Blastoise. Hitmonchan and Electabuzz now have only a retreat cost of 1 thanks to the Retreat 8 Dodrio on the bench. Other than not having water energies, I'm feeling pretty good about this. He attaches an energy to Dodrio, and he might actually go in for the Rage. There he goes. He does retreat for 1. It is very interesting seeing Dodrio and Haymaker. There is the Blastoise knockout, and that is absolutely huge. We'd have to draw into a water. I'm actually going to guard off with a Lapras here. We do draw into a water energy, which is phenomenal. Let's see. We can knock it out with 1 more water if we pick it up. I think we're just going to sit on this and see if we pick up another water. We would be at 1 single prize card after that. He doesn't have damage on the Blastoise, and ideally I think that's the way to go. So we're going to sit on this turn and see if we pick up another water energy for Professor Oak, so we can add the water energy Professor Oak and finish charging up our bench, possibly do a little bit more. We only need 30 damage to knock out the Dodrio, which would give us 1 prize card, and then the Hitmonchan already has damage, so the Hitmonchan could then be knocked out by the Blastoise from this range. Ditto is knocked out from the Blastoise by this range with the right number of energy, and then the Electabuzz is 2-hit KO'd by the Blastoise. Alright, so he trades and puts an Electabuzz back in the hand. I really like this variant of Haymaker. I've never seen it with Ditto, and I have never ever seen it with Dodrio. I think it's really cool because then if you're playing Scyther, which I'm not sure that you are, and he makes the right call here, he does go into the Electabuzz. That's a 20, and that's really good. That's really, really good damage. A switch would be ideal for us, but we don't have one of those. We need a bit more damage to bring Electabuzz into range. So we're going to go ahead and bring out Lapras and go ahead and attach an energy, and we're going to go ahead and Water Gun. And brings it to 10, that brings it to 60. We need to damage it 1 more time for 20 to bring it in range of Blastoise. We really need a Professor Oak and or a Bill and or a Computer Search as our draw. We've got about 3 or 4 specific cards we can draw right now, and those are the ones that we indeed need to draw in order to bring this game closer. I'm not sure what the Ditto does here. Not sure what the Ditto does. Is there a way to turn the timer off? Oh, here we go. Super energy removal. What a play! Discards the lightning and knocks off the water energies off the Blastoise, forcing me into a situation where I do have to top into something. Sitting at 2 prize cards. This is bad. We do not top into what we need. This is really bad. He one-shots the Lapras. I think we're going to throw a Squirtle on the bench. I think we're going to switch ourselves, go into the Lapras, and all we could really do is hope for a Bill, a Professor Oak, or a Computer Search. Those are the 3 cards that will save us. Super Energy Retrieval was so well used. I haven't seen that in Haymaker in a very long time. Here comes the item finder for Super Energy Retrieval and or Professor Oak. Only got 9 cards in the deck. He does indeed see that Scyther. We were looking for that Scyther. I get Gust of Winded, and now the Blastoise is knocked out. That is huge. Oh, that's huge. And he flips good on Thunder Punch. I do not draw into what I need, so I will actually... Let's see. Game 2. Alright, really, really good game. How do I... I have no idea how to do this. Here we go. Surrender. Very nice. Rematch. Send challenge. Alright, continue. This is pretty decent. Double switch, computer search, Lapras. We had a really explosive start, but our opponent really stopped us really cold. Alright, he's leading with just Doduo. I'd be curious what his... There he goes. Now he's going on the attack. He is not playing around this next game. Electabuzz is active with the Thunder Shock, and that is 20 damage on turn 1. Alright, let's get it going. Squirtle. I definitely have to do at least some damage to this thing. I kind of want to... I think I want a Professor Oak here. Let's computer search for 2. Let's discard Switch into Water. Let's grab a Professor Oak. Get us in a better situation here. It does get us in a better situation. Got another Squirtle. Got a Breeder. Let's see. Can't play more energy cards this turn. Alright, so we will attack with a Water Gun. If you flip a Tails on Thunder Punch, it will be very helpful. But that Thunder Punch can 2-hit KO Articuno potentially. That's really not good. Breeder would put us in a really good situation, but we are going to lose the Breeder again to the last. God, what a good play. What a good variant of Haymaker. Haymaker is a strong deck. We do get knocked out here. There's the 20 damage, or the 10 damage to the Electabuzz. I'm so used to dragging cards. We're going to go ahead and go for damage with a bubble and hope to get a paralysis. There it is. Bringing it down to 40 HP. It is in range of a bite. So we're going to go ahead and charge this on the bench. Go ahead and go for another bubble. Going to bring it in range of bite. There's another paralysis. Beautiful. Good job, Squirtle. Good job. There's that Breeder. We do not have what we need to get into it, though. We're going to add another water here. We're going to evolve to War Turtle. That means next turn we will be able to knock out the Electabuzz, even if he knocks out the Squirtle. But he's not going to get the chance because the paralysis with the bubble is super solid here. Evolved into the Dodrio, but he cannot retreat. Oh, and this is what we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. We do have the computer search to get directly into the Blastoise on the lead spot, but we don't have quite what we need to get there. So what we're going to do is attach that water into the War Turtle, and we're going to make a retreat into the War Turtle. Going to discard that water energy, and the War Turtle is going to go ahead and knock this Electabuzz out and give us a prize. That is huge. We do top into the Professor Oak after that. That is very, very solid. That means we can get into the Blastoise pretty easily. We've got to be careful with that Dodrio. If we damage it, we are going to take some damage due to that, and my opponent knows that. Going to go ahead and go for a Bill. We're looking good here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and computer search, discard 2 waters, grab Blastoise, Pokemon Breeder into Blastoise, and Professor Oak. And we top all waters. This is beautiful. So we will put Rain Dance to good use now. We will Poké Power Rain Dance into Blastoise and charge it up. And then we will also charge up Articuno. What an explosive turn. We'll go ahead and bite. That does 2-hit KO the Dodrio. And My opponent does not have Hitmonchan, Scyther, or Electabuzz. We did knock it out with that lead Squirtle with those 2 key paralysis and that bite. That was huge. Led us into a Pokemon Breeder play into Blastoise into Professor Oak for a bunch of energy. We have used a lot of energy. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We only have 5 energy cards left in the deck. Let's keep this in mind. Here comes the second Dodrio. 10 plus 10, so it can knock out the War Turtle here, but Blastoise will be able to come in and get a knockout. Or I can also bring in Articuno, which is also a better matchup against Hitmonchan, being able to 2-hit KO it. I guess, notably, there is... I feel like... there is merit in this because you basically attack like you with merit in plus power in Blastoise because it allows you to one-shot Hitmonchan and Scyther, but it does not allow you to one-shot anything else. There's no point here losing the War Turtle or retreating out simply because we 2-hit KO with Rain Dance, or we 2-hit KO with Bite, and he can't respond back with Special Punch. And even if he could, we bring him in range that Articuno can finish him off. I've seen this guy Roshi quite a bit. I think he actually is pretty active in the group here. We do top into another Blastoise. He does get that paralysis, but we do top into Blastoise, and that is huge. What a top deck. What a top deck. 40, so we can 2-hit KO easily without even having to invest in more. We also can go for Blizzard and do more damage and bring it into range for the other Blastoises. This is very, very huge. 50's kind of no point. Yeah, I think we're just going to Hydro Pump and bring it down to 30 HP for another Blastoise to take it out. What a really good top by my opponent to get into the Electabuzz to start paralyzing Blastoise, as the Rain Dance Pokemon power does not work while Blastoise is paralyzed, asleep, or confused, or paralyzed. Let's see, asleep, confused, or paralyzed. So that's really huge, but I feel like he'll just flip for the Thunder Punch. He might not flip for the Thunder Punch. He might get the Thunder Shock Paralysis and then go into the Thunder Punch and get the knockout. Trying to see how my opponent wants to respond here. Like I said, he's got the Electabuzz in the lead slot trying to go for the Thunder Shock Paralysis. Is he going for the Thunder Punch? Is he going all in here? He is going for the Thunder Punch. He does get the 80 damage because of the Thunder Shock previously, and he gets the knockout. Bringing the Articuno here. We do have the Gust of Wind. We're looking really, really good here. We're going to go ahead and go for the Freeze Dry because we do knock out the Electabuzz, and we do not have to flip for damage. We pick up an Articuno in our prizes, which is nice, as he brings in a fresh Dodrio here. But the Dodrio is strong. Double colorless into the Dodrio. He can freely retreat back into the Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan's not going to do him a whole lot of good here. We are going to go ahead here on this turn and go for a... Oh, I thought I had a Gust of Wind. Yeah, I do. It's right there. Hey, that Gust of Wind right there. I'm going to go ahead and Gust of Wind. I'm going to bring out that Dodrio. Since Hitmonchan's already in range of both Freeze Dry and Hydro Pump, I am going to go ahead and get the knockout on this Dodrio. That is meaning that nothing has that retreat, and we pick up a bill for our troubles. Here comes an energy retrieval from my opponent to get some of those energy cards back as we restore the lightning and the fighting energy to the hand. We're going to get a fighting attachment to the Hitmonchan and pick up another water energy. We only have 5 of those left in the deck. We're going to go ahead and bill one more time. We only have 15 cards left in the deck, so we are not going to go full out. We are going to go ahead and go for that last Articuno, go for that Computer Search, discarding Professor Oak and Pokemon Breeder to get into that final water energy that we are going to need, we're going to go ahead and Rain Dance up the Articuno on the bench so it's ready to go. And that is good to go. We can now, of course, go for the Freeze Dry here. We Freeze Dry into Blizzard and it will knock out the Dodrio. It can only do... looks like it can knock us out with the Rage if it chooses to do so. That'll bring us to 3 prize cards apiece. However, the Hitmonchan is both in range of Freeze Dry and also Hydro Pump. My opponent responds with a Professor Oak to try to get back into the game, and a bill. That is 9 cards, ladies and gentlemen. That's a big deal. He draws into 2 more bills. They were all right there. He has drawn like 12 cards on this turn. He puts that Ditto on the bench from the Fossil, and we are looking at a whole nother game here. I'm still really curious of the implication of Fossil Ditto in Haymaker. Oh, here's the Gust of Wind. Big deal. Big play. Big play. Dodrio coming out. Here comes the Electabuzz off of that 12-card top deck. The Thunder Shock could put Roshi in a really good spot here. The Thunder Shock into the Thunder Punch is huge. He most likely has the energies. He does not. He just goes for that, but he does bring him in range. So that's really big. I don't have anything else I want to do. I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump and get the knockout, pick up a prize, which happens to be a War Turtle. As my opponent decides what he wants to bring in here, he does bring in the Hitmonchan. He is willing to bring that Blastoise down to range. Here comes a Special Punch that brings it in Electabuzz Thundershock range. Oh, this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. That Special Punch is going to bring Blastoise in range of the Electabuzz on the next turn. This has been a wild one. Even with Blastoise and Articuno being fully charged up on the bench on the Rain Dance side, this Haymaker variant has been able to consistently top deck into the Electabuzz. Super energy removal! Oh my goodness, this is huge! The Special Punch isn't going to come down because of the super energy removal, but that is still really big because I cannot retreat that Blastoise because there is no Dodrio on the field assisting me in that. And that allows him to get his Electabuzz up, and next turn he could just Special Punch that Blastoise into next week. There is nothing I can do. I'm going to end my turn here. Alright, so he gets a energy on Ditto, as opposed to going for energy on the Hitmonchan to knock out the Blastoise with a Special Punch. But because there are no energies left, both players are sitting at 11 cards in the deck. There is no more energy cards left in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There are 2 energy cards left in the deck for my side. So on this next turn, the Jab will take out the Blastoise, and Articuno will be up against the world here. It is 2 Articuno versus Electabuzz, Ditto, and Hitmonchan. It is going to be a 2 to 3 prize game. Roshi really coming back in here with a Pokemon Trader. 7 cards in the hand, sitting really solid. There's a lot of cards in my hand. I just can't do anything. There is the Scyther that we did not get to see in Game 1. There it is. There's that Scyther. Wonder if he's playing the Grass Energy just in the back. Here comes the Thundershock. The Blastoise is knocked out, as now it is 3 to 2. There's no point to go for energy. Now the Electabuzz can 2-hit KO with the Thunder Punch, but if it does flip a Tails on the Thunder Punch, the Freeze Dry will be able to 2-hit KO. But it doesn't matter because the Freeze Dry gets a paralysis. That is huge. Now the biggest thing I got to think of is if I want to add on 1 more energy to the Articuno and go for the Blizzard. However, I did not draw the energy. I'm sitting with a bunch of Pokemon in my hand. The Freeze Dry, if the Paralysis, and we get the Para. So I am striking back with Brute Force as Articuno comes in to get the double para on the Electabuzz, bringing it in range, which will bring me at 1 prize card. Hitmonchan is in range for Freeze Dry. So many more Gust of Wind are in my deck here. Let's see, 1. Do have 3 Gust of Wind out of these last 9 cards, so it is a 30% chance to draw it, and I do not get it. Everything is in range. Everything is in range. So I think because I just have 1 more, I'm going to go ahead and attach that water, go for the Blizzard, see if I can flip a heads. And I do not, I flip a tails. Prize card is a Gust of Wind. That is huge. That means that I can bring out the Hitmonchan at any time and take game 2. We are going to a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes an energy retrieval from the Scyther. And a fighting energy is going to be returned to the hand along with an electric energy. Here comes a big slash from this Scyther. And a plus power. This brings it into the range next turn to take it out. I'm going to go ahead and add that water energy to the benched Articuno. I'm going to go ahead and Gust of Wind, and we are going to game 3. Hitmonchan comes in, and Hitmonchan is now knocked out for the Blizzard, and that is the game. Game 2 goes to me. Alright, let's get into game 3. Going into game 3. Alright. I had to take a mulligan. Computer search, Blastoise, water, breeder, computer search, Bill, and water. Alright. What a horrible start starting with the Articuno. The only good situation here is if he leads with the Hitmonchan. Alright, Roshi's gonna start. Really bad hand. I would lose 2 Pokemon breeder out of it. I have to ask him. I'm just curious how the Fossil Ditto works in Haymaker. Like, what the implication of the card is. What does it do for you? My opponent leads off with a couple of bills, so he's going to draw 4 cards. He does have 10 cards in his hand, leading off with 2 Doduo this time, and a lone Articuno on the opposing side. This is not a good start. Not a good start at all. Don't know if I want to lose 2 Pokemon breeder here. Get you out of a tough situation with weakness. Speaking of that Ditto, there it is. Alright, water energy's not good. We could Oak, but we would lose a lot of advantage, I feel. I mean, we're only just getting pelted by these Fury attacks. And Blizzard is really huge for us right now, but I just don't know if it's worth just sitting with no energies. We'll have to see what the next couple of draws bring us to see if we're going to be in a situation where we need to Oak. Though Professor Oaking and Blastoise and losing 2 Pokemon breeder is a big, big deal. Wait, why does it have... So the energy converted to this multicolor energy. There goes the last again, putting me out of the Professor Oak situation and the Pokemon breeder. And there is the freeze dry and paralysis. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. I don't have any way out of this situation. One energy will bring me in a situation of a blizzard knocking me out and dealing damage to my Pokemon. There's that lightning. He is going to go for the blizzard. And he does get the tail, so he does deal the damage to his other Pokemon. This is not good. Not at all. This is a really bad situation where Fossil Ditto is really showing what it does in Haymaker. Crazy. I love how the tech card in the deck is doing all of the work. It is nice to see this card. A classic Fossil card. Using all of those energies to just become whatever it needs to become. And that is a huge boon to be able to do damage to things like Blastoise, Charizard, things of the nature without having to have the set energy. Another freeze dry paralysis will bring us to Pokemon Breeder. And it is Roshi having all of the momentum on his side with that Fossil Ditto. That is crazy. Here comes another Scyther down on the bench, and the Articuno is going to get knocked out to another Blizzard as he flips another coin. This time it is the heads, bringing Lapras in range still, and the hand is not good. The last has destroyed the last chance here of comeback, as the Wartortle, Blastoise, and Pokemon Breeder sits in the hand with no energies and no recovery. One water energy is not going to get us out of this situation, so there is going to be a final Blizzard from the opposing Roshi Ditto with the Haymaker. Here comes the water gun for one more damage. With the 30 damage, because you can't add more than 20 in this way. Forgot the Articuno wasn't out, so you couldn't Blizzard. Sitting on the very last turn of the game. Here comes a computer search. Discarding a Pokemon Breeder, a water, and that to get into a Professor Oak. Oh, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Here comes a Professor Oak. Squirtle and Lapras down. But it might honestly be too late. Here comes some water energy on the Squirtle. Here comes another Oak. And we got 3 bills. There's going to be 6 cards drawn into a computer search and a Pokemon Breeder. Oh man, this is getting good. Here comes the Blastoise. Gotta wait till next turn to get that Pokemon Breeder, but this is absolutely huge. Yeah, going down 3 prizes and all these cards in the hand. I mean, this is a big deal. Double Squirtle, Pokemon Breeder. He could last. Last would be horrible. Last would make me cry a lot. Alright, I'm going to end the turn. If he goes for the last, that is it. But it is crazy that all those cards were drawn. If he goes into a last, it's going to be game over. There'll be no computer search. There'll be no gust of wind and no Pokemon Breeder. The question is, does Roshi have the last sitting in the hand as he goes for the knockout? He does not. He goes for the knockout on the Lapras. This is huge. This is huge. In comes that Lapras. Alright, 22 cards left in the deck. Here comes a Pokemon Breeder into Blastoise. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Another computer search. Oh, actually. Yep, there's no takebacks. Okay. So we'll discard the Gust of Wind and the Switch. And we will go for another Oak. Alright, so we'll Pokemon Power Rain Dance. And we will charge up the Lapras. Rain Dance. Water. Rain Dance. Water. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means there's 10 energy cards left in the deck. There goes the War Turtle. We Oak for a free 7. And this is why Rain Dance is such a powerful deck. It is why the deck is good. It is why the deck does what it does. 5. And only need the 5. Fully charge the Lapras. Okay. We will Gust of Wind into the Ditto. We will Computer Search for Oak. Put a water on the War Turtle that's fully charged. 6 cards left in the deck. Water onto the War Turtle. I made a mistake here. Yeah, I made a mistake. Gust of Wind into the Electabuzz. And to go for the Water Gun. I like the idea of killing Ditto with the Blastoise, but it just wasn't optimal. I think I've put myself in a situation where there's not a lot of energy cards left in the deck, but that was impressive. That was drawing 9 cards into double Computer Search, into double Professor Oak, which got us into a fully charged Blastoise, a fully charged Lapras, and almost a fully charged War Turtle after being down 3 prizes. But that Fossil Ditto has put in so much work, and there are 2 Electabuzzes here. Now the plus power, he does flip and get that Tails, which is huge, because now, even though there's another draw here, there is a possibility of retreating for free and knocking it out and having the... So we're gonna retreat for free, bring in Blastoise. Oh, I thought Retreat Aid works for both. Your active Pokemon. Never mind, I misread that completely. We do get the Hydro Pump knockout. That does get us a prize card and an energy, but we are pretty far behind. Blastoise. Ditto cannot kill Blastoise in one hit, but I can kill Ditto and bring us into a really close range. We need to get into another Gust of Wind so that we can knock out the Electabuzz. This is incredibly close, though. It is really cool to see Haymaker playing these intricate checks, intricate cards that I've never seen in Haymaker. Possibly, I guess Fossil Ditto might be more seen if the card was like different. I feel like it might be more seen. You only need the 40 to knock out the Electabuzz, and you get the knockout on the Ditto this turn, so that's huge. Yeah, that's huge, and you also can bring the Scyther in range as well, so that's really big. Go for the Hydro Pump, knock out the Fossil Ditto. Wait a minute, what? Oh, is the defending Pokemon has 100 HP? Oh my god. And now I'm gonna go down to a Hydro Pump. He has 1 prize left. 2 prizes left. Go into the Blastoise. We can now knock the Blastoise. We can now knock it out on this turn. Go for the water. It is now at 60. It is at the highest power level I can bring it. Attack at another prize. 4-2. Here comes the Scyther. The Scyther can bring it in range for the Electabuzz. God, that is such a big deal too. That slash is so relevant, as it guarantees the Thunder Punch to kill me. Only have 3 cards in the deck. Feel like there's a little too much oomph on this one, but we do top deck and the Gust of Wind. My God, that top deck is so good. Because the Electabuzz is already damaged, the Hydro Pump does get the knockout. That means that the Scyther is in range to get knocked out now. However, the Blastoise can also knock out the Dodrio. The biggest play that would save Roshi here would be a Super Energy removal. The question is, does he have that Super Energy removal after trading in that energy? That would be the game. Super Energy removal would end it. The question is, does he have that Super Energy removal? No, he has the Gust of Wind, and he will knock out the Lapras and double out into the Scyther. What a good play. What a good play. I see what he's doing. He's putting himself in a really good position here because he's going to slash the Lapras, knock out the Lapras, bring the Blastoise out. The Blastoise is going to be sitting at 70 HP. I don't know if we computer search for that one card. We got to think about this turn really carefully. Ooh, we got to think about this turn carefully. We can do 60 damage, but we can't quite bring it down. We're going to go ahead and he knocks me out at that point. I'm going to go to Lapras, attach a water to Lapras. I feel like he ends it with the Dodrio. Go ahead and Hydro Pump. We can knock the Scyther out. The Scyther will bring us to 40. Since he's not running the Grass Energy to bring us lower, he's setting up for that kill, but both Dodrios are in range. That is such a smart play on the opponent here. Here comes the plus power. It's going to do 20 damage. That's going to bring it in, not quite in range, as another Doduo is placed on the bench. I really like how he uses the Doduos and the Dodrios. Excuse me, the Dodrio's Retreat A to support Hitmonchan, Scyther, Electabuzz, and Fossil Ditto. That is so cool. There's that Super Energy removal. That is the game. Come down to the very last card drawn in the deck. That Super Energy removal was the card we were looking for. That was the final, as the bill brings us to 6-1 on the cards in the hand. What an incredible series here, as we see the Super Energy removal come down, and there's not enough energy cards left to recover. So that is going to be the game 3 that we're looking for, as the Blastoise and the Lapras do not have the attacking power to withstand the slashes of Scyther, and that is a huge, huge, huge game. But just to rub salt in the wound, there is an energy retrieval played from the opponent. And that retrieval is going to bring the energies and another last in the hand to just to remove all hopes of that top deck being any bit of help. Losing that computer search for the final game in the set, and Bill is the final card drawn. And the final card of the deck is computer search, and that is going to be the game. Thank you guys so much for the series, and I'll see you guys next time. Let me know what your favorite moment was. Let me know what you thought about the massive draw of like 14 cards in game 3. Sitting with almost no cards, only to top deck into Gust of Wind to knock out the Electabuzz, to be at the end of the game with a Super Energy Retrieval plus power that would bring it into range of a couple slashes from Scyther after removing the final energies, leaving Blastoise and Lapras with only 1 energy apiece. Thank you, Roshi, for the game. If you have a channel, I'll be happy to link it down below in the description. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Morning, everybody, and welcome to Trading Card Game Thursdays. Like I said, thank you guys so much for the first episode. Today we're going to focus a lot more on a deck very much more old school in the base to fossil format. You can find the program that I'm using right here down below. I'll have a link, and it actually links to your Discord account to log in, so that's pretty cool. So today we're going to be actually building base set Rain Dance. It's a deck that, like I said, I feel like everybody's familiar with this, played the cards back in the day, and we're going to focus a lot more on going back in the past. If you're not interested in seeing the deck building, that is completely okay. Just click that timestamp down below. We'll get right into the fights. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in just a few. Alright, for those of you that are staying around for the team builder, I do feel like 4-3-4 or 4-4-4. I've always really liked the standard ratio. It depends, like, especially like in a deck like Rain Dance, a deck that's very consistent, a deck that primarily wants to get out the strongest cards the fastest. Back in the day, you had a lot more access to these types of cards in a speed type format. So I'm going to go ahead here and add my 3 Articuno. I do like that number. 15 Pokemon, and I always like 2 to 3 Lapras as well. I do feel like Lapras is a really good starting body. That way you have 3 really strong basic Pokemon you can open with. We might tweak it a little bit, like once we get into it. Plus, I also like this because we can, you know, of course, use all of the holo foils. 18 Pokemon. So now we're gonna go ahead with this and Super Energy Retrieval and Rain Dance. I would say probably 20 Water Energy. We'll probably tweak that here in just a minute, but we'll start off with 20 Water Energy. There's the 20. Now let's get our trainers. We'll probably definitely edit our energy at the end because we're already at 38 cards. Alright, looking at trainer cards, you got to play Bills. Bills you play 4 of. I do like Professor Oak, but I also like Pokemon Breeder. I feel like you also have to play 4 of these. You play 4 Computer Search. The Blastoise decks on Quick Play just were not quite what I was looking for, so I ended up just wanting to build my own. For Computer Search. Professor Oak is good. Like I said, you really want to get to your pieces. I don't know if I would play Super Energy Retrieval. I feel like you have enough recovery in here. Oh, Retrieval is in base Rocket on, because I think Retrieval came out in the Rocket set. I guess we're not gonna play Super Energy Retrieval. I guess we're gonna play just standard base fossil. So in that case, we will play Professor Oak. Play 4 of those. Looking pretty good. I'm not sure what else we want to add to this deck. We are just about where we need to be. Blastoise, Lapras, Articuno, Search, Pokemon Breeder, Professor Oak, Bill, and Water Energies. You don't want plus power. I'm just trying to think of the last couple of cards that you might need. I don't want Computer Error. Computer Error is not available here. Let's see if it's in the Rocket. I think it is on a Rocket format. Base to Rocket. So if we open base to Rocket, then we do get Super Energy Retrieval. With 20 energies, I think we'll be okay, though. You do get Nightly Garbage Run. I do like Nightly Garbage Run, but unfortunately it wasn't available in the older game. Like, it was available in the Pokemon Game Boy 2 card game that never came out of Japan. So I'm not going to run Nightly Garbage Run, not in this particular circumstance, even though we're playing a Rocket On format. Computer Error. The fact that my opponent gets to drop to 5 cards and might be playing the Rain Dance Mirror. Rain Dance Mirror is actually a really hard mirror to win. It really is just however fast the player plays. I am really blanking hard on these trainer cards. Let's see, collection. Type. Let's go with trainer. Rocking on. Oh, I'm dumb. Gust of Wind. Oh my god, how could I forget Gust of Wind? I don't know if I want to play trader or not. I do, however, want to play. Gust of Wind for sure. 4 Gust of Wind. And 1 more Water Energy, bringing it to 2. Do we play the 2 Pokemon Trader in the last 2 slots, or do we go with Item Finder? Item Finder is kind of hard just because you have to discard 2 cards. Digger Challenge, the Boss's Way, Sneak Attack. Oh, Switch! Switch is a very good card to put in the last slot, and we'll stick that water back in there, and that will be our deck. So I will see you guys in just a few minutes, and we're going to go ahead and get into a match, and I'll see you guys when we get there. Standard Rain Dance Water. Let's see. Public export. Export. Debug. Save public. So it's actually base fossil format. Nothing we're using is anything past base fossil. Alright, so now this is my deck, Blastoise Articuno. And last look at it before we get into the game. Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, 444, 3 Lapras, 3 Articuno, 4 Computer Search, 4 Breeder, 4 Professor Oak, 4 Bill, 4 Gust of Wind, 2 Switch, and 20 Water Energy. I'll see you guys for the game.